Hello there guys, it's LazyBeast here. Now, I've had quite a lot of questions about my UI in the videos I've posted recently, and with the War Within just around the corner, it seems only right to share my updated UI import strings, that would be for ElvUi and for Plater, but to also share with you 3 of the best add-ons that I currently use that I think will make your time in the War Within even better than it is going to be already. So what I'll do is first of all talk you through those 3 add-ons and explain why you should get them and how you can do so, and then I'll go through my UI, show you my ElvUi setup, and talk you through how you can get that import string and copy it for yourself if you wish to do so. So the first add-on that I absolutely recommend that you get it right now, but get it also in advance for the War Within, is HandyNotes. Now HandyNotes basically adds tons of things to your map with, you guessed it, some handy notes on what those things are. So for example, it will show you where all the rares are in any given zone, and also give you any tips on things. Now let's say for example you have a rare, but in order to spawn the rare you need to go and click on 3 acorns nearby where the rare spawns, and HandyNotes will actually tell you exactly where those 3 acorns are, and then you can see that on the map as well. You can click on the icon for that rare and it will keep those things on your map so you can see them nice and easy. So you can go and click 3 acorns and the boss will spawn. It will also tell you what the boss might drop. So let's say for example the boss drops a mount or a battle pet. It'll have that linked in the thing as well, so you can see exactly what's worth killing, what's worth not killing, and also what you have already killed. So if you're just after the achievement for killing all the rares in a zone for the first time, for example, you can just do that and you can clearly see which ones you've already got without having to check the achievements menu. That's just one thing this add-on does. You can also get components of this add-on that will be city guides, for example, showing you where all the profession trainers are, where the portals are, where dungeon entrances can be in certain zones, where the flight paths are, locations of treasures, like pretty much everything you could want to find in this game. HandyNotes will have it there on the map with the HandyNotes to go along with it. Now the thing to note with HandyNotes is first of all you just need to download the base add-on HandyNotes itself, but then there's also near enough hundreds at this point of optional extras you can add to the add-on, basically bolt-ons to the add-on itself. So for example, the ones I recommend getting for the War Within are HandyNotes Donegal, which is the main city. It's going to be our new capital for the War Within, and also HandyNotes The War Within, as well as getting HandyNotes The War Within Treasures and Rares. Now the last 2 seem like they might overlap, so what I'm going to do is when the expansion launches, see if there is a bit of a doubling up of certain things going on, and then just delete one of those add-ons. Either or will be fine. So the best thing with this add-on is it's still relevant for the rest of the world as well, all the other expansions. You can indeed get HandyNotes Valdrakken for Dragonflight, you can get HandyNotes Warlords of Draenor Treasures, you can go back way far. Shadowlands, Oribos, anything you can think of, there's a HandyNotes plugin for it. Even specific things like the Dalaran Books achievement, the old Dalaran one, the achievement Well Read. You've got to go and click on all those books. There's a HandyNotes plugin for that as well. And it also comes in very handy at any kind of world event, like the Lunar Festival for example. So yeah, basically just get HandyNotes, it'll save you a lot of time and it's fantastic. On to the next add-on, Weak Auras. Now, you've probably heard of Weak Auras already. If you haven't, your mind is about to be blown. Weak Auras is another fantastic add-on. It's incredibly useful. Most people use this for rotational purposes, so, making sure you follow your rotation well to keep track of buffs and debuffs and stacks of things in combat. So that's what you can use it for personally, if you're a tank healer or DPS. But there's also usually Weak Aura packs that you can download for the raids. So most raids that have come before this point have usually got Weak Aura packs for them. So they'll pop up in certain boss fights and tell you of certain key mechanics and things you need to do. For example, soaking a mechanic, or moving out of an area, or finding a player with the same mark as you. Like all those kind of mechanics, Weak Auras will help you with those. The same also applies for Mythic Plus as well, so what I would do is keep an eye out, and I will update the description of this video when the expansion does go live. When I see a Weak Auras pack come out that's good, I will link this in the description of this video. I'll also share it in Discord too, so make sure you drop by Discord. I'll pin that in the Mythic Plus and Rare channel when it does go out. And that's the thing with Weak Auras, it's insanely customizable. You can be the person that learns the add-on inside out and learns how to make your own Weak Auras. You can absolutely do that, or you can keep it nice and simple, save yourself loads of time, and simply copy other people's Weak Auras. All you need is an import string. Usually the best thing to do, let's say for example you are a survival hunter, you could just Google survival hunter Weak Auras. It'll take you to a website called wago.io, and you'll find on there some Weak Aura packages. See one that you like the look of, and you simply just copy the import string and paste it into the add-on. Super simple, nice and easy. If you already have this add-on, do make sure you get some updated weak auras, because we do of course have the talent changes, so things might be outdated if you don't update your weak auras. Also bear in mind that we've got the hero talents coming into play at level 71 onwards, so you might have new things to track as a result of those too. But with weak auras, just a couple of examples of how this isn't just purely for combat. It can remind you of things like if you don't have a pet up, you can set a weak aura up to shout at you to remind you to get your pet out if you're a hunter or a unholy death knight, for example. But also there's a dragon riding weak aura. I use this one because it just makes it easier to track your vigor and also to know your speed. Various things. It's coming quite handy in races and stuff as well. Just a little bit more information for you. And you know, as Khadgar would say, knowledge is indeed power. But also there's things like the cursor circle weak aura. Sometimes you just lose your cursor. This probably happened to you. Maybe I'm just getting old, I don't know. But you lose your cursor and you can see this nice cursor circle weak aura. And what it also does, there's a little cast like GCD bit on it too. So it just, more awareness is always a good thing, isn't it? And you don't want to lose your cursor, for example, mid-combat if you're trying to, you know, click something or, you know, set like a teleportation pad or something like that, and you don't know where your cursor's gone. So yeah, I would recommend that one too. And the last add-on that I would 100% recommend is Plumber. Now, I don't know why this add-on is called Plumber, but it needed a name, so Plumber is the name. This is made by a guy called Peter Docs, who makes some other fantastic add-ons, such as Narcissus as well, which is the screenshot one, the transmog sort of add-on, for taking really cool screenshots and videos too. So shout out to Peter Docs for the work that he puts into these add-ons. So what exactly is Plumber? So Plumber is basically a massive quality of life features bundle. You may have come across this in the Emerald Dream when we were doing the Dream Seeds thing there. It basically took away a few clicks. For example, when you would go into the Dream Seeds, rather than clicking in your bags trying to find the relevant Dream Seed, right clicking on that and casting the thing, simply when you approach the Dream Seeds it would pop up with a little menu. You could simply click on the seed already and it would plant the seed for you. And it just made things super simple to see. On the map as well, it added a map to show which seeds were currently active and also what type of seed it was and how long it had left. So huge quality of life things too. There's many features involved in this add-on, things that you may not even notice at first glance. So for example, skywriting races, they are still going to be a thing in the War Within. What this add-on does is when you speak to the skywriting race NPC, it will show you if you completed that race before, and also if you got gold, silver or bronze on each of the races, so you can quite easily see which ones you need to do if you're going for things like the gold completion on them all. For anybody that's doing any pick locking, rogues and mechanomes, you can just simply right click on lockboxes in your inventory to unlock them, so you don't have to go and click the skill, then click the box, so that's going to save you quite a lot of clicks. There's also things like the time rifts. When you go to a time rift and you click on Sorry Dormy to start the time rift and check in, where you have to basically clock in, you don't need to do that. You just simply click Sorry Dormy and it will auto click begin time rift for you. So it's all things like this. Now this, I'm assuming, will still be updated in the War Within, so anything like this that crops up will be made much easier with Plumber. So absolutely get this add-on and keep it up to date, and I'm sure it will save you a lot of time going forward and make your life a bit easier. Alright, so there's 3 add-ons I would absolutely recommend getting. Now let's talk about my UI. So for anyone that knows ElvUi, you will recognise this when you see my UI, so that is indeed what I use for the UI overhaul. It does basically do what I've just said. It overhauls the entire UI and makes it look cleaner and neater, and it's extremely customizable, just like most of these good add-ons are. It's very easy to adjust. You know, I've spent a bit of time doing this over the years and tweaked it to my liking. This is my profile. I'll show you the view of it where the movers are enabled, so you can see where each individual bit is. If you like my profile but you want to tweak certain things, super easy to do. Just go into the settings, click on movers, and you can move the bars around and things where you want them. You can also choose the skin. So for example, the bags weren't working when I logged into the pre-patch the other day, so I just simply disabled the ElvUi bags skin and the bags worked as normal for a bit. Now speaking of bags, I usually do use a bag add-on. Bagnon is the one I typically go for, but there is also Adibags as well, so try Bagnon or Adibags and see which one you prefer the look of the most. They basically function in a similar way to each other. You can simply use the ElvUi base bags that come with the add-on, but I tend to just get a bag specific add-on because there tend to be a little bit more features to them as well, and I prefer them over the look of ElvUi. As for unit frames, I tend to not use any other unit frames add-on, for example shadowed unit frames, although I did used to use that a while back. I just simply use the ElvUi unit frames, but all I do combine that with is Omni CD. Now that basically makes it simple to see your group's cooldowns in Mythic Plus Keys. So it's kind of useful for any role, whether you're the tank that's pulling and you want to know if your DPS have the cooldown so you can blast the pack down, or if you're a healer, for example, seeing if the tank has their oh shit button ready. You know, if things hit the fan, the turd hits the fan, obviously you can know that your tank's got the cooldowns there ready to use. So that comes in quite handy too. A nice addition to the ElvUi. Unit frames, I was going to say nameplates there, but never mind. Speaking of nameplates, I use Plater. So Plater nameplates, a great thing about this add-on is as well that you can import profiles from other people. So I'll mention Quasi here, for example. He is a guy that does a lot of work with the Plater add-on. He tends to get some nice Plater profiles set up for tanks, for example, in Mythic Plus. Some things you can do with this add-on, for example, is change the nameplates to change colours if you have aggro on the mob or not. So again, very useful for tanks. It makes it very easy to track debuffs as well. So most classes have debuffs, whether that's like Mortal Strike for a warrior, or poisons for a rogue, or you know, fire damage for a mage like Ignite, for example. So it makes it really easy to see which mobs currently have your debuffs on, how many stacks they have, the duration of them. It's just all nice and clear, and these stack really nice as well. They tend to not clutter up and kind of overlap each other, because that makes it very difficult to track, especially if more mobs are joining an AoE pull, for example. So Plater keeps it lovely and clean. You can customize it super easy, make the bars really wide if you want to, make them really narrow, whatever you want to do. So I'll share my profile link for ElvUi and for Plater. I'll mention them in the description, but what I'm thinking I'm going to do, the easiest way of doing this, is put them in my Discord. So if you want to grab these, I will keep those links and the import strings in Discord up to date. So if there's any issues with the links that I put in the description, do come into the Discord. All you need to do is subscribe to my OnlyFans and you'll get these import strings. I am joking, by the way. I hope that caught you off guard. It's completely free, obviously. Just come into Discord and you will get the import strings in the UI section. That makes sense, right? Okay, so the last add-on I will give a mention to is Immersion. So this one is a lovely little add-on that basically changes the quest text dialogue box and the NPC interaction box as well. So it kind of puts it in this lovely little frame, a bit like the talking head toast pop-ups that sometimes come up when NPCs say things. It just looks nicer. You've got a little animated NPC frame there as well, which you can turn on and off if you wish to do so. The text animates nicely, and what's good about this one is you can just press spacebar to move to the next bit of text. So I usually just click on an NPC, spam spacebar, and then off we go to the next thing. You know, when you're trying to do quests quickly, it saves you actually clicking on the quest menu, like accept quest or decline or those kind of things, or clicking through enemy dialogue, or sorry, NPC dialogue. It saves time on that and it looks nice. It goes really well with ElvUi as well because the colours are similar. Again, it's quite customizable. You can move it around to wherever you want to, change the size, those kind of things. So yeah, Immersion, another brilliant add-on. So there we go, guys. That is my updated UI information and 3 add-ons that I absolutely recommend you get for the War Within. I really hope this video has been informative and you've learned something from this, and you make use of the strings if you wish to import those profiles for yourself. Any questions, do let me know in the comments or pop into the Discord and I'll be happy to help you out with those. With that said, if you have enjoyed this video, please consider leaving it a like and subscribing to the channel for more guides and content all about World of Warcraft from me, Lazy Beast. I've been Lazy Beast, guys. Take care, have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.